Hello again, guys. We are back with part two of this wonderful little extravaganza that we're doing here. Um, very briefly, before we continue on with this video about Shanny talking about Michael Jackson, um, while I was taking a break to eat dinner, and what? You okay? Lay down, Bubby. You're all right. My poor pupper scratched himself too hard, I think. Yeah, you're okay. But anyways, while I was taking a break to eat dinner, I was looking up any more information on what I've already discussed and talked about, and looking back at the Boogie going ape shit situation. Apparently, little bit of an update on my end, and for anybody who watches me, Keem, good old Keemstar, has admitted that the whole entire fight that happened with Boogie and Rastoff, Keem quite literally instigated. He basically told Boogie to lie and to start the rumor that Rastoff quit. And that's where the main point of contention between Rastoff and Boogie is at the moment. So he admitted that he told Boogie to spread the rumor. So once more, even further proof that the Locale Live thing is beyond scripted. It's beyond planned out beforehand. So, is it still worth watching? Maybe only if you are catching up on like recap videos. Otherwise, there's really no point to watch Locale Live at all. So, if you're interested, just watch the recaps. Don't even bother watching the actual show. Yeah, you'd be wasting your time thinking, unless you like watching like Jerry Springer and whatnot, and you don't care that it's scripted, then I guess that's your prerogative. But for me, nah, not really interested, especially when they are pushing it as a real thing whenever it's not. So let's go ahead and can start part two here, continue and finish up this Shanny Michael Jackson video and move on to the next two videos that we're going to have to tackle.
You're hot. Listen, we had television shows back in the 60s and 70s where children were pretending dating grown women, and that was fucking okay.
See? Exactly.
What the fuck?
See, exactly.
Nowadays, no.
Rev the
No,
forever
we call it
what
what we see it as, grooming. Her kissing on him like she does.
Right.
When he was a little boy.
I know. This is a super deep subject.
Mm-hmm.
That if you even start to enter the door of talking about certain things, you're going to get a yellow video.
That's okay. This is an important subject
It
to be
is.
talked about.
I totally agree.
Because it's showing what kind of damage people have done to Michael and how much they've used him, manipulated him, and treated him like fucking shit his whole goddamn life.
The way I see it is that Diana Ross definitely contributed.
I don't understand exactly why Shanny is like getting so absolutely bent out of shape and defensive over the whole Michael Jackson thing. Like, if it really meant as much as she tries to claim that it means to her, she would have talked about this a long time ago. Like, this particular video would have been already on her channel quite literally years ago. But for whatever reason, she's deciding to talk about it now, and she's acting like that this is somehow, as of today, a tremendous issue, which it's not.
To his syndrome of wanting to be escaped into a different world.
Yes.
She played a part in it.
No, his biggest enemies in his life was his dad and Diana Ross.
You Yeah,
because they damaged him mentally so fucking bad.
I think that's fucking true.
Of course you think it's fucking true. Anything Shanny says.
I mean, you have
true.
this woman like saying, "Well, I'm your mom and I'm your sister and we fuck." That is not like, what is that?
She never. What? She never said that. He always looked at her as a mentor. He looked at her as a familiar, like as a parent, and then looked at her as family. What are you even on about? What are you talking about? Oh, well, see her as a mom and a sister, and they fuck each other. That never happened.
Even in Catherine Jackson's book, autobiography, talking about how she completely was disgusted of the relationship between Diana and Michael.
Yeah.
She fucked him when he was a little boy.
Oh my god. Shit,
No, there is nothing that says that she fucked him as a little boy. Once again, you all are making a fucking mountain out of a goddamn molehill. Quit your shit.
there's no situation that's normal.
This is what they did to Justin Bieber.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna just at this point with how fucking demented and neurotic that they are, there's really no point in like arguing that particular point because they're obviously hooked on the idea of Michael Jackson as an 11-year-old kid getting fucked. It's honestly really gross and sickening, but it's what they're stuck on for some reason.
Michael was groomed just like the rest of them. And then in the later parts of his life, when he's older, they tried to make him a groomer. They did it to him. And they wanted him to touch kids, but he didn't because he was like, no.
He beat every court case. So if you think he's fucking a child molester, just know he beat every fucking court case.
There was no
And it wasn't
evidence.
because he was rich, because those motherfuckers were after him.
There was absolutely no evidence that he touched any fucking kids at all. And the ones that did say that he did this shit had motivation to do it. Why? Money? Because they were scum, poor fucks.
Okay?
And I'm not judging the poor, but I'm saying some people that are poor are willing to do some really bad shit. And they lied on Michael to get
Ironic. Heavily ironic.
money.
I mean, listen, I'm 42 years old.
Good for you.
I've been watching Michael and been seeing this shit my whole fucking entire life.
That's
Uh-huh.
right.
So I know what I'm fucking talking about. These things that happened on TV, I saw
That's right.
when it happened.
The next layer of this really bothers me. This part of it really bothers me is Paris. What the fuck is going on with her?
She realizes he's not her bio dad and it's fucking her up.
No. All right, no. Once again, no. There is no. I literally previously looked this up in the last part. So if you want to look it up again, if you want to go back and watch that, you can. But we've already figured out, verified, certified everything that both of them accept Michael as their parent. There is nothing there that says they're going, oh my God, he's not my parent. There's nothing there. They're once again doing what they always do. They're making up shit.
Her heart.
Yeah.
But she had a
No, that bitch Debbie Rowe had to fucking say that shit after Michael died and killed Paris in the heart. There's some weird shit between Macaulay Culkin and Paris though.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh dear.
And he's her godfather. Holy shit.
She's being groomed too.
They're wanting.
Macaulay Culkin's groomed Paris.
He did. Okay, what's the age difference, Macaulay Culkin and Paris? 20 years?
Do we once more have to delve? Do we have to play researcher here? Oh my God. Man, I don't even know how to spell his name. I'm going to have to look up how to spell his name real quick. Jesus H, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Macaulay, dude. Well, what the
They
fuck,
tattooed
man?
spoons on their arms because they were doing heroin together.
She's sitting like basically. Oh, okay. The yes, okay.
And she's like,
no, she's above him.
yeah.
So I'm way. My person. Oh, go ahead.
People diagnosed with BPD frequently exhibit
Oh,
subregulating
dear.
emotions.
Well, thank you, Siri.
Of course.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's basic BPD, but she hit it. He's quiet BPD.
What
He's
the fuck?
super peaceful in his heart, and he doesn't want to hurt
You
you.
don't display aggression unlike me. I will display aggression.
That's because you've been fucked with it. I mean, Chris's brother got right in your face, right?
Yeah, and my mother, the one who put the biggest hole in my.
Okay.
And
As
then
long
there's
as you
my
ate what you
son's.
did.
That's also a huge hole in. Well, it's actually a smaller hole than my mother because the big hole took like the majority of my heart, and whatever was left was like the boys and
Oh my
then
God, I know.
Jason.
And the cats, yeah.
Yeah, and the cats and the boys, they just went boop. So I got a bunch of holes in my goddamn heart
Crap.
from all the goddamn people who never wanted to fucking
What if, William, what if I said that to my mother that had cancer? Well, I'm not going to talk to you until you're better. She would have been fucking dead, William. I would have never talked to her again. Don't you want to be there for your mom when she needs people in her life to love her?
Why are we once again going back to fucking picking on William again? All roads lead back to William, I guess. It's so fucking stupid. So I went ahead and looked this up for you guys, and I will read it. As said in the last part, I'll read it just in case there's people who are just listening and not necessarily like watching the video. So they're claiming that somehow Macaulay Culkin like groomed or did something sinister with Paris Jackson. So I just looked it up. And there's no evidence that Macaulay Culkin groomed Paris Jackson. Their relationship has been consistently described as close, familial, protective, with no credible allegations of misconduct. Macaulay Culkin is Paris Jackson's godfather, a role he was given by Michael Jackson. Their bond began when Paris was a child and has continued into adulthood. There have been no public accusations, legal claims, or credible reports suggesting any kind of grooming or any inappropriate behavior from Culkin toward Paris. Major outlets and fact checkers have found no basis for such rumors. In interviews, Paris has spoken warmly about Culkin, describing him as a supportive figure. She has never suggested any misconduct or discomfort in their relationship. Culkin himself has addressed speculation surrounding his friendship with Michael Jackson, but not in relation to Paris Jackson. His comments have been focused on defending his own experiences as a child and refuting abuse claims that were directed at Michael. And the rumors that do exist are largely fueled by internet speculation and, of course, conspiracy theories, not by any verified sources or first-hand accounts. So, as once more we find out, these two lying dumbasses can't keep their fucking can't keep the truth in anywhere near close to what it should be, which should be the first thing that you mention is the truth. But no, their first claims always have to be some sort of sick, twisted shit.
Her?
No, because they're cold. There's something wrong with my gene pool. I don't know.
You're right. No, it's well them too, but I mean, look at Doug. Like I don't want to be mean, but
Fucking
Wow.
meth dealer.
the guy.
Piece of shit.
Well, we have to put it in context,
Well, I left him when I found out he was doing stuff
and that's the right move.
because I didn't want it to get to my kids. Oh my God. I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah, you're
mother.
bad again because you took action.
Yeah.
Like when your son calls you or DMs you in Google chat, the foster mom is being emotionally abused.
This is exactly where this, well, like I said, all roads lead back to this for some dumb reason. I don't get it. Like, you would think after both of your channels were threatened to be taken down because of the fact that you didn't know how to shut the fuck up about certain things, that you would take the hint and shut the fuck up. But apparently that's just impossible.
Abusive to Zachary and me. Holy shit, what do you want me to do? I immediately called fucking, you get the authorities involved. Of course you do. Why?
Your kids.
I'm a mandated reporter. I have now 8 hours of fucking training under my belt in this shit now.
8 hours of training. Whew. That's some vigorous training right there. Just for anybody who's curious, becoming a mandated reporter is quite literally dependent on your profession. You don't necessarily need 8 hours of training to become a mandated reporter. Most caregivers, whether they be in a facility or they're caring at home, they become mandated reporters essentially automatically because of your position within the community. If you are quite literally someone who takes care of someone who can't take care of themselves, you're taking care of someone with a disability, someone who's infirm or elderly or whatever, you automatically are a mandated reporter. You don't need 8 hours of training. Back when I worked at my previous job, which was, something similar to that, I didn't need to do the training to become a mandatory reporter, a mandated reporter. It was just automatically assumed because of the profession. So, once again, as always, people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Which I will be paid for, which is good.
But I don't. Nah, but he made me into some kind of nutcase. But it's like, it was your words that caused this.
All of a sudden, she's horrible and neglectful. When for years, CPS came in and said, I have a perfect, beautiful mother and dad, but they're just mentally ill. So what happened?
I absolutely hate... I'm hating this part of the video since fucking Rev has shown up, because he keeps doing this weird, effeminate, I'm gay but not gay fucking thing that he is now obsessed with. But there is a little bit of irony in that, which we will discuss when it comes up later.
Let's change the story. Why? Money, ching ching, bling bling. He should go listen to Shane McMahon's WWE theme. He would.
Oh boy. I think I'm going to end that video there, because they don't talk about anything else that I'm going to care about. So we're going to move on to the next video that actually does kind of matter. Just as a warning, this is an hour long. I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing. As a matter of fact, we probably won't. Because there's only a few points that I remember from this video that matter. Everything else is just kind of meh, because once more it's Rev talking about shit that he has no business talking about. So let's go ahead and add that. There we are. Well, we get the cool intro again, at least. Yeah, so for sure we're not going to be able to watch all this video just because of the fact he does play a music video, and I don't know if it's copyrighted, and quite frankly, I don't want this stream to be taken down because of it. So we're going to skip around. First thing that I really want to cover is he just talks about Trump, talks about fucking weed. We'll start it right here because he starts putting on the Jeffree Star makeup because, of course, Rev can't go a single day without putting makeup on and pretending like he's a chick, despite the fact that he claims he's not gay, he's not trans, and he has no inclination to be either. But he likes to dress up, and he has said multiple times now that not only does he like to dress up as a woman, but he likes to dress up as a woman specifically for his male audience, or the males in his audience.
God. Fred fucked. Say, I'm so, and I don't give a fuck in this anymore. On my board, it just says fucks. But it's Fuchs. Like, yes, hon? I love you. I'm doing video. And like Angry Video Game Nerd said, Fred fucks. You know, that's how I spell it on my soundboard. Because I know how that might be considered just uncouth to folks if I just had fuck on my soundboard.
Why would it be uncouth, and why would anyone care if it's your soundboard? It's out of view, so it's not like we're going to see fuck in front of us or whatever. And not only that, but like, I get that you're, and this is something that comes up later, I get that you're a James Rolfe and Mike Matave, like, I don't know what the fuck it is, like, you got James's dick in your mouth and Mike's balls on your face. It's kind of weird how much you enjoy their content. I mean, that's fine. If you want to be a fanboy, do whatever. But it goes from fanboy to just like weird, cringy shit. Anyways, yeah, I don't know about the whole fucking soundboard thing, whatever.
So I didn't do that. To me personally, I wouldn't fucking care. I would put fucks and lesbians and like vagina. I would have a button on my OBS and on my stream deck that would just say vagina. You know, why not? It's a good word.
It's also your setup, so why would it matter? I'm once more not understanding why it matters. It's your shit. No, we can't, if it can't be seen, if it can't visibly be seen on your screen for your audience to take in, because that's basically what you're saying, is it would be uncouth if the audience saw it, but they're not seeing it, and they haven't seen it. So where is the discrepancy here?
Anyway, here we go. Like, I don't know. We're going to have some of the Jenk Uger, your head want to explode. I need some more light. What I want to get is a disco ball. And I want to get one of those, what's the brand called? JBL cube speakers that has a subwoofer on it. That would be sick, but I don't got money for that. That's fine. I feel the Lord's going to bless soon. Bigger.
And this is the reason why I don't think anybody should keep supporting both Shanny and Rev if you're doing so for the sole purpose of them eating. It is very obvious that the money that they get does not go to food. The money that they get goes to other shit like mice and keyboards and and big cube speakers and echoing microphones and apparently Xbox controllers. It goes to all that shit. It doesn't go, none of the money that you give them goes to food, despite the fact that they constantly claim we need money for food. So, just as a warning.
And bigger, and then we'll bless you guys. You know, even the haters, we'd probably bless you because we're kind of like that. You know? we really believe that Jesus said you love your enemy, but it's hard in practice, but eventually we do it right.
I mean, I would hope so. Especially if you are if you are as close to being if you were as close to being as Christ Christian as you claim to be, then sure. I mean, I'm not, but I don't necessarily hate either of you. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even use that word. I would say I have a very serious distaste and dislike for the both of you. And the main thing that I hate about the two of you is not you as people, it's your actions. Because much like how Boogie fakes his fakes and over exaggerates his mental breakdowns and mental illness, you and Shanny do the exact same thing but with different diagnoses. You and Shanny do it with bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder, and you all use that as not only as a shield but as a cudgel, no matter what situation that you're in. If someone attacks you, you use the mental illness as a shield, and if you're attacking someone, you use your mental illness as the cudgel, so that way, if they do try to attack you back, suddenly you have an excuse. Oh, well, it's not. I wasn't just attacking you because I'm a piece of shit person. I was attacking you because my bipolar was making me attack you. My borderline personality disorder was making me attack you. It ends up being dog shit because it turns into that those mental illnesses are used for everything. There was an old thing that back during my therapy sessions, because I actually do have mental illness. Back during my therapy sessions, I remember being told specifically over and over again, and I'm still told this specifically over and over again in the sessions that I have to this day, that I should not let my mental illness define me. I should be able to define myself without the need to go to it. And that is the exact opposite of what you and Shanny do all the time. You and Shanny literally use your mental illnesses to define who you are. And you wonder, once again, much like with the previous videos, you wonder why mental illness isn't taken seriously in America. Because everybody and their mother has some sort of mental illness, and everybody and their mother either glorifies it somehow, like that's supposed to make it better, or they just do nothing about it. Like, I get it that there should be positivity within yourself. You should be able to take whatever you have and turn it into a positive, no matter how much of an actual detriment or negative that it is. I get that. The power of being able to turn negative into a positive is a pretty good power to have. However, what ends up being the problem for you two is that it is never a positive. You're never going to be able to do that because you two focus so much on how bad it is and how it detriments you and how it makes you such shitty people, despite the fact the stuff that you do has nothing to do with it. You and Shanny constantly lash out at even each other, and you all claim, oh, it's just the bipolar, it's the borderline personality, that's what makes us do that. No, there is a genuine, you can see it in your all's faces at times, but there is a genuine hatred that you two have for each other. And I don't think it's ever going to be solved. I don't think it's ever going to change, because as of now, the mental illness thing is your all's grift. It's what helps get you all money. People think you're mentally ill and can't take care of yourselves. So you have good Samaritans, people who actually are trying to make a good difference in the world, and they're using you all as a stepping stone to do that, to try to better the world. But in reality, you all aren't a stepping stone as much as you're a sinking ship. You're already flowing under the waves, and you're trying to get people to come onto the boat to sink with you. And even worse, whenever they do throw you some life preservers and try to get you out of the water, you're tossing them back and saying that they're ableist and that they're evil for not helping you, despite the fact that that's exactly what they were trying to do, is help you, but that's not what you want. You don't want the life preserver to pull you out of the water. You just want them to give you a whole nother boat so that way you can sink that one too.
What's the deal? Why is that? Okay. I got some lighting. That's all right. That's cool. We have old school bulbs in this fucking overhead, right? Oh, I was supposed to get the makeup. And it sucks ass. No, it doesn't suck ass. It's just like incandescent lighting can be good or bad, depending on your video. You know. For me, it's that might be a little too much. Would that make it? Let me. Sorry. Would this be better? The lighting, like, oh, that's better. Yeah. I don't need that corner on if I got the. Oh, that's way better. Okay. Holy shit. Sorry, guys. I apologize, but I care. You know, lighting is something too. So, like, again, you just want to.
And thus ends the lecture about lighting from Jason. Everybody, please go ahead and take a stand and give a round of applause. Oh, come on, you can do that. Yeah, good job. Round of applause for that wonderful lighting lesson.
Want to start experimenting. You know, do you think I'd ever think that I was doing fucking makeup? No. But Shane Dawson's cool, you know? And
okay.
He got me into it, really. And Jeffree Star is the fucking man. I love you, Jeffree.
Which is funny, because if you all are anywhere like near somewhat historians of Shanny and Rev, you'll remember that I think it was just a couple of years ago, maybe a little bit further back than that. No, it actually was further back than that. Jason was a heavy Alex Jones supporter. Like, he absolutely loved Alex Jones. And that changed when Trump won the first election that he won. And that was because Alex Jones was one of those people who was celebrating that Trump won. So because of that, Jason had this kind of back and forth where he was hating on Jones, hating on Trump, and then he was liking Jones and Trump because Trump was actually doing positive things. And then kept going back and forth, hate like. Now, he just vehemently fucking hates him, calls him Orange Hitler and all that stuff, which is honestly gross in and of itself, just because of the fact that, much like what Bill Maher has said over and over, and I agree with, if you're calling Trump Hitler, you are insulting every Holocaust survivor, because he's not even anywhere near close. But they have to keep up with this image that he is, because they consider themselves left wing, and they have to kind of follow in stride. Not only that, but also with how big of conspiracy nuts and how they just take things on a surface level from everything else, as we have seen so far and have proven so far. Then anybody can just walk past them and just whisper in their ear that, Trump is trying to ban donuts. And they would immediately come home and be like, oh, did you hear? I heard from several different sources, all of them legitimate, and none of them that I can bring up right off the top of my head right now are mentioned. But he's going to ban donuts. He's going to get rid of all the pastries. And they would literally run with that forever, no matter how much you prove them wrong on it. But yeah, Rev used to be a big Alex Jones fan, and he hated TYT, the Young Turks. But here recently, it's a complete switch around, because Alex Jones supports Trump, and both he and Shanny hate Trump. So they can't support Alex Jones, but he'll constantly make fun of him and constantly bring him up. And he also doesn't like Chink Uger, which is kind of funny, given that, you know, out of all the people that he could support, he doesn't support him. But the reason why he doesn't support Chink Uger is because Chink Uger is an atheist, and he doesn't like that. So, very selective outrage. But going back to the original point, I think it's funny that he just said that he loves Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is one of the few outspoken people who not only is right wing, and I mean pretty heavily conservative, but Jeffree Star also doesn't believe in the whole trans thing. He thinks that if you're trans, it's a mental illness. So we'll use his makeup, say he loves Jeffree Star and that Jeffree Star is awesome, but I guess doesn't realize that Jeffree wouldn't be on his side. I mean, ironic, I guess. And you can, and not saying that it would be impossible, obviously. There's plenty of people who can be friends and not talk about their political views or whatever. It's honestly the best way to keep friends and to stay friends is to not do that. But
Jeffree, holy fuck. Oh, stop. No, I'm not gay, Jeffree, so I'm hetero completely.
And press an X to doubt on that one.
But if I were gay, definitely, like, for sure. But I just ain't. Anyway.
I just ain't. I love to wear the makeup and pretend like I'm a pretty girl and tell the men in my audience that they should fap to me, but I'm totally hetero.
Anyway, I'm feeling really good today, guys. Queen shit, you know. I don't do much, though. Because if you do too much, then it's like, what the fuck is that? You know? I never do anything on my lips, but maybe I will this time for you. For you.
Oh, yes, yeah. This next part gets really, really bad.
Who am I doing this for? Oh my god, I'm doing it for Jeffree. Well, holy shit. Oh, should I start that? He knows me. Yeah. I'm Revelation News, Jeffree. You know, I was in the end of Shane Dawson's video about the conspiracy palette shit. I'm Revelation News. I'm the guy that said Shanny for Christ has huge tits. And I think Shane Dawson loved that, you know? Well, I'm not looking in the mirror. I'm starting with a crooner in the mirror. I'm asking him to go to Florida to record an album about Michael. If you want to heal the earth and make it great, take a look at your... Okay, I'm done. Ooh, this is purple. I'm going to do this.
Why are you putting eyeshadow on your lips? That's an eyeshadow palette. Why are you okay.
I never do this. I never do this.
I never do this, guys, but I'm doing it. I never do it. I've never done it. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I'm just winging it, but I'm doing it.
Fuck. Oh. Oh yeah. Hang on. I've never done this. This is not something I've ever tried before. You're gonna like this, guys. You're gonna be like, oh my god, Rev, you gotta do this more.
Nope. I don't know of a single person that's gonna do that. Nope. Mm-mm.
Maybe I do have to do it more. Because it's actually fun to me. Oh, I do like those little cat girls, you know?
Okay. So we got Makeup Ravina coming out, and she's going to be talking about cat girls. Prepare yourselves.
Those little cat girls on the cams.
Cat girls on the cams? VTubers. Is that what you're talking about? And of course, I had to pause it right at the moment where he puts his fucking tongue out.
Oh my god, that's that's pretty slaying hot, right? Whoa. Okay. I'm just training myself how to be a sex kitten. That might be too much. Yeah, that's too much.
Training yourself on how to be a sex kitten? And you're not gay. Okay. Not even bi? I mean, I would, you know, no pun intended, I would buy that if you said you were bi. I would totally say, yep, you are. But no, you claim to be completely straight and hetero, right? Right. Okay.
Too much. Oh, Daddy, no, why did you make me cry? Oh, that's perfect, yeah.
You need to shut the fuck up!
Coffee tongue. Now I fully look like Twiggy Ramirez. Whoa, I'm gonna.
You just look like a tweaker. Like more often than not, you have the demeanor and the energy and the just the little well, I guess in this case you would call them tweaks. Yeah, just you have the little twitches and everything like a tweaker. Like you have all of the energy and demeanor and aura of just someone who is just either perma-fried or you're just tweaking out of your goddamn mind.
Blend this, like, okay, hang on. Shanny taught me about blending, you know. Oh my god, it's almost jokery, but it's all
Good for you. I mean, I've seen Shanny's makeup, and some of the shit that Shanny has done for me, just in my opinion, like the pinup stuff is okay at best, but anything else that she's ever done just kind of looks like you never graduated from like being in high school sort of style. So I guess that does include blending, but you know, I'm really being uber generous with that.
black. It's and a little red. It's not green or white. Red and white. What's the oh shit? Party man, party man. See, it just smeared all at that point because I went too far. But the mouth is kind of hot though. I like that.
There is nothing about you that in any way, shape, or form says hot. There is no universe in the multiverse of where that is a factual statement.
I'm gonna be just doing a soul patch, you know. No goatee, just a soul patch because I want to get my labrae pierced again, you know.
Okay.
Because I like that. That's it though. I don't want the fucking septum anymore because I'm fucking done with it. Okay.
I wanted to comment on that, but then the comment that I had just kind of left.
See, there is too far, and I did it. In the middle of the forehead, I did too far. And then Shanny's like, well, you know what you have to do then? You have to take one for the team. And you get an alcohol wipe. You know?
Okay. I am going to have to be right back. Yeah, I gotta take care of something real quick. So maybe a minute at most, guys. I promise. I'll be right back. And Okay, I have returned. All right, let's finish this up, hopefully. Like I said, there's only a few parts I really want to talk about in this.
Fine, but I don't, you know. I ain't that dedicated yet to it. But I am dedicated to it because it's like kabuki theater shit. Maybe I should do a little color in my eyebrows and see what the fuck that looks like.
I'm fucking putting your tongue out, dude.
That's like pretty good. Where the... like black.
Alright. Where... I should have probably like made timestamps for this. There's only like three parts that I want to talk about in this whole video. That's why I didn't want to cover the whole bunch.
My face, and then I saw myself punch him in the face, and I quit that moment because I knew that I might punch him if he did that again. I am diagnosed with severe bipolar 1 disorder. That means violent.
Severe bipolar 1 disorder. Well, let's see here. So, severe bipolar 1 disorder does not include violent episodes. So I don't know where he's getting that from. So, elevated and irritable mood definitely has that. Inflated self-esteem or grandiosity has that a lot. Rapid speech and racing thoughts. He definitely has some rapid speech. Risky behaviors, such as like reckless driving, spending sprees, or unsafe sex. I don't think him and Shanny would ever have had safe sex ever. So I don't think that works. And psychosis in severe cases. I don't think he's experienced psychosis. And then major depressive episodes that can consist at least 2 weeks of persistent sadness and hopelessness, loss of interest in activities, fatigue or low energy, difficult concentrating, suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Okay. Once again, I could see how he probably has that, but he doesn't have he doesn't say anything about it says absolutely nothing about aggression. So, however, interesting thing here is that causes for this particular disorder is genetics, of course, brain structure, of course. Any sort of stress and like overdue stress and trauma can trigger episodes, and substance use. We just got through talking about how he's kind of tweaky, so I guess that makes sense, right?
I can't go there, which I hate. It's horrible. That's not an excuse for bad behavior, Rev. Back to therapy. I want to dress like this in therapy, you know?
And why would you want to do that exactly? Like what would that help? if you answered nothing, you're right. It would do nothing to help. So I'm not sure why dressing up like that and going to therapy would help with anything other than them just being like, fuck, this dude has got way more problems than what's written on this sheet here.
I want to be my new self. This fully embrace the drag queen in me.
That's not drag queen. Definitely not drag queen. What you have is, because drag queen, in my opinion, has two different levels. You're either got the gross level of drag queen, which is literally like what you see nowadays whenever you see like the drag queen shows, where people have like obviously enormous fake tits and they're flopping them around in it everywhere and shit like that and being very provocative. And then you have the old school drag queens, which is like, someone just putting a wig and a dress on and then walking outside smoking a cigarette with stubble on their face going, I'm a gal. That's that, or, that level of drag queen. Rev is neither of those. I think he has just fully embraced the idea of, because of the fact that he was told one day by someone, probably a troll, that he could pass as like a femboy, he has decided to try to adopt that into his character, which fucking doesn't work. It doesn't work in any way, shape, or form, Ravina. Sorry.
It's escaping reality. That's what this is, and it is performative.
Absolutely,
I do want, and it's no offense to trans, because I know my beautiful Nadia subscribed to my channel.
I absolutely fucking hate that I just realized he's wearing a Red Dead Redemption 2 shirt. It's fucking Arthur Morgan and John Marston on his shirt.
I'm pretty sure, because I reached out to the beautiful Nadia Chambers, from the old G+ days of the Great Debate,
oh yeah, the good old days.
Nadia, I reached out to the great Nadia, and she was in a little dire straits, and hopefully things are going good. Now, I love Nadia, and Nadia, I think you're happier, like, overall, right? Maybe you can come back and do the Great Debate again with the channel. And the reason
I wouldn't. That whole Great Debate community thing has been long dead. It's so dead that even the maggots are leaving it alone at this point. I wouldn't come back to that.
I say that to you because you probably have a lot more patience now, and you could probably teach a lot of people about philosophy really well.
No offense to Nadia, but sitting through and trying to watch any of Nadia's meetings that she used to have was boring as shit. Like, it was so boring even for her that she started falling asleep. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be. You would save yourself the trouble just to, if you're interested in philosophy and you want to do philosophy videos and stuff like that, that would be neat. I would watch those. I like philosophy, but don't go back into the Great Debate community and start that shit over again. Don't resurrect a beyond the maggots dead horse.
I'll send this video to you, and see what you think. It's the 26-minute that or shit. Like, I'd even do a fucking stream with you again, if you want. I could do it. Oh, man, that'd be... Because I got a nice setup here, man. It's pretty good. The mic's good. That's for fucking sure.
Wow.
You know that?
Yeah.
Okay. This bitch will never die, this Neumann mic, as long as there's not a nuke hit it. If a nuke hits the mic, it's over, of course. If Alex Jones decides to come to my front door...
Here's one of the parts I wanted to talk about.
News. You need to come out here because you don't support Trump. And I go out there to Alex, and I go, what the fuck is your deal? And I go, state your case. And then he'd go, well, here's the deal, Rev. I could call you Rev, right? I go, absolutely, Alex. Or you could call me Jason. Remember, you called me Jason when you offered me the job. Okay, Jason, from Pennsylvania. That's right, that's me. That's what most people on InfoWars knew me from. Jason in Pennsylvania, you're on the air, that's me. Normally, it was me. Then Jason Burness, of course, was a big guest. Okay, I wasn't a big guest. I was definitely an active InfoWars audience caller-in participant, though.
And somehow that made you how important? Not very. You called in to the show often. Therefore, they knew you as like a regular caller. I mean, kind of piss in the wind if you stopped calling, which obviously you did. But Alex Jones still has a show. He's still around. So I don't see Alex Jones ever going to Pennsylvania to talk to you anyway, just because of the fact that, one, it would be irrelevant. There's no point in doing that. I don't know why he would want to go to your house, or your uncle's house, rather. Sorry, I don't know why he would going to go to your uncle's house and specifically to talk to you about not supporting Trump, when he could be going out and talking to other journalists, other politicians, actually doing what journalists are supposed to do. But
he knew I had a channel, and he knew that maybe he could hire me, and he tried.
That never happened. There is no way in hell that Alex Jones reached out and tried to hire Revelation News. That would quite literally be like you having a cruise ship and you hire someone who has whose job is literally explosives and making holes. And you go, oh, yeah, you're going to be at the very bottom of the ship. You're going to be right in the underbelly works, near the engine and everything. That's where you're going to work, buddy. And then the ship goes down and everybody wonders, oh, what happened? No one's going to wonder what happened.
When I explained this before, watch my other videos,
I got an even better example. That would be about like hiring someone to work at a national park as one of those fire watch guys, but the person that you hire has a laundry list longer than your fucking leg of nothing but arson charges.
My hair's looking sick. I'm telling you guys, anybody that has problems with their hair, you need to get the Suave shea butter and cocoa butter body wash. And
Rev, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, bud, but much like my hair, the top of your head is falling out. Like, whenever you see it and whenever you see your hair in the right light, it is the same color as your scalp, which means you're running out of hair, bro. It's falling out. It's okay. It'll do that eventually. Time kind of does that to you, but yeah, it's once again going back to this whole vanity Revelina shit.
And use it on your hair because it's going to revitalize it. But anyway,
get back to
I'm naked without my cat ears, and I think I might need a tail. There's somebody here that wears Kit Kat ears and they have a tail. I think I might need the tail soon. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a furry.
That has nothing to do with being a furry. Although you are, once again, doing exactly what Shanny does all the time and relating this back to sex somehow.
Shanny introduced me to an anime called Inuyasha. And
pretty badass anime. Definitely old school.
He was pretty cool looking, And he has sort of these Kit Kat ears with...
He's a dog demon. He's not a Kit Kat.
Super long fucking hair. Like, extremely long hair. So I am emulating Inuyasha. That is exactly who I'm imitating.
If that's exactly who you're imitating, you're way far off base.
Realize that about myself. I just want to be a real life version of Inuyasha because
that'll never happen.
This world is too fucked. See, some people escape into the Studio Ghibli stuff. That's for you guys and not me. To me, Studio Ghibli is literally the equivalent of watching anime paint dry.
I beg thy fucking pardon. What? What? Studio Ghibli is the equivalent of animated watching paint dry? Are you... How high are you right now? And where can I get what you got?
I'll get a lot of hate for that. I deserve it.
Yes, you do.
Sorry. When you have bad opinions about something that's beloved to a lot of people, the right and correct and Christian way to act in that is to not say it.
Yep, and therefore you'll never do it.
Peter said that debate is reprobate. Why? Because it gets you put in jail. I might have to start preaching. But see, what stops me sometimes from preaching is the bulk of the cover. So what I have to do is take my personal effects. Oh, this is a spiritual thing right now the Lord's doing with me live on this recording, not live. because this is all my personal effects in here, like a diary from rehab and shit. That I have to set aside and put over here with my other personal stuff, like the stuff I want to sell to movie companies. But
which you'll never be able to do either, because no movie company is going to be interested in anything that you have to sell.
underneath that is the Sefer, which is an abomination. Why is that at the bottom? See, I'm right now reprioritizing God in my life, like live in front of you. Oh man, that's a lot of dross and like stuff that I really don't need in my life in my hands. But it could make me money, and I pray over. I just pray the Bible's under it. You know, Lord, a foundation built on you is a good one. So could I get some amens in the house and prayers for blessing of my material work in the Tento Saga and Kitty Doom's concert series? And
okay, I'm not going to shit on anybody's creative work. If you're able to put together anything in any sort of creative way, you know, hats off to you. I'm glad you're able to do that. However, that also, by doing that and putting it out in the public, gives everybody the right to shit on it if they want to, and to have an opinion on it if they want to, or to praise it if they want to. Here's the problem with the stuff that you make, Jason, especially this whole Tento saga and the Doom Kitty shit, is that you will say up, down, left, right all day long about how you're this God-fearing, good Christian dude, and you rather inaccurately and unjustly call yourself a reverend, which pisses me off to a different degree, not on any religious standpoint, but just because of the fact that it would be about like me saying that I am a Supreme Court judge when I've only been in a courtroom twice in my entire life, and one was a school field trip. So you don't have the qualifications to be a reverend at all. And I know you tried to link it back to some kind of like spiritual awakening or whatever the fuck, but it doesn't work that way. And I know that you and Shanny both would use the Bible as an example, and you all would look at like Peter and Paul and Jesus himself and say that none of them had the quote unquote training to be a reverend, but they were teachers, pastors, and reverends and prophets in their own way. But it's a completely different thing with that than it is with what you're saying. But going back to my original point, you all claim to be this hardcore, you know, Jesus is my savior Christian, yet you create two different things, the Kitty Doom thing and the Tentos thing, that are both filled to the brim with just nothing but lustful acts. I'm pretty sure reading any of those particular quote unquote sagas that you're building, you're going to be experiencing the 7 deadly sins over and over again, because you and Shanny are the personifications of the 7 deadly sins. You're both prideful, you're both wrathful, you're both hella lustful, you're both hella greedy, you're both hella gluttonous, you're both hella slothful, and you're both very envious of everybody else. Anybody who's got just a little bit more of something than you do, you all covet and envy that they have it, and you want it for yourself. So there's all 7 sins, and both of you are the personification of all 7. But the Tentos saga and the Tentos saga, not the 10 toes. That's that's BGTV. But the Tentos saga and the Doom Kitty saga is like, you constantly talked about this, one of the last videos that I've seen on you talking about Doom Kitty, about how a lot of the shit takes place in brothels. What goes on in brothels? So unless you're trying to pitch something to HBO and it's actually good, you're not going to have anybody interested.
and other things to come, because I got other ideas.
I'm glad. Good for you.
You think that the end time thing? Okay, wait a minute. The
Get
spirit's
your
moving
get
for
your
a second.
fucking thoughts together.
Okay.
Dude.
Do you think that the Left Behind series was a pretty good Christian-y thing? Well, a lot of people would agree if you say yes, and a lot of people would disagree if you said yes. Shanny's one that will disagree when you say yes.
Okay.
She believes that Left Behind was like a blight, right, on anybody that takes end time prophecy seriously, because mainly what you see in that book series is not factual end time prophecy stuff, which is truth. She's right. What it deals with is a lot of possibles and speculated things, and then you sprinkle in some of the old Schofield Bible end time prophecy teachings, which are, once again, the teachings of a man. And if he's an error, he can be an error. That doesn't mean he's going to go to hell. That means that he's just an error, and the error will be found out by research and time. And my mom, when I buried my mother, I buried her with a Schofield Bible. It was her childhood Schofield Bible. She absolutely believed 1,000,000,000% in Jesus. So the Schofield shit is really just, it don't matter if it pans out to start looking like that's what's going to happen, because the whole European Union deal with the UN, and then you get the one world dictator from the UN that comes out of Europe. Okay, whoa.
Here we go.
I think you're reading into end time wars, which is not the same thing as the beast with 10 heads, and the little horn is the 8th, and it's uprooted by the 3rd. Okay. That the beast kingdom is spiritual. It's a spirit kingdom, and it's Moloch. It's fucking Baal. It's that spirit of child sacrifice. That's why it's so wicked. There's no getting around the level of wicked. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, there's somebody out here that needs to hear this. Maybe it's a person that's friends with us, or they keep pretending to be friends with us. Sadie, maybe this is your call to repent. Because
I think it's funny that as soon as he says somebody who pretends to be friends with us, he's already got someone in mind.
Witchcraft is gross, and everything.
Witchcraft is gross, yet you're with someone who quite literally who's told her own son, actually, that she's going to put a spell and a hex on him in order to make him call her and to make him better. So you're with someone who literally is casting spells and using witchcraft. But she gets a pass because, of course she does.
That you try to put on people, especially if they're in the Lord, like blood bought, like to her and me, it's going to come on you sevenfold eventually, because that's just promised by the Creator. That's not me putting Rev, you're making God your hitman, and that's what Shanny does. No, that's bullshit. And by the way,
that is what Shanny does. Shanny does that all the time, and she's even done it to you. So I'm not entirely sure where you're saying that that's not true whenever it's happened to you. Denial's a hell of a drug, I guess.
He told King David that he was his avenger. Do you think it's any different, me and Shanny being blood bought by Jesus, that it's any different us saying that the Lord will defeat you for us?
It is different. Sorry, but it's just it's different. It's not the same thing.
Vengeance is his, says the Lord. It's not ours. It's for him to be glorified because you're evil.
And then that right there is where the whole Christian thing just goes out the window. Because if you're sticking to Christian teachings, you shouldn't be, unless someone is doing something provably evil. Unless they're like sacrificing kids or killing people or stealing a bunch of shit, raping people, that sort of thing. Unless they are actively causing some kind of physical harm to someone else, you can't say that they're evil. There have been plenty of examples of people in history and even today who are evil, but you can't pin that on just people willy-nilly, especially if you're continuing to go with the Christian teachings. Because you labeling them as evil equates to you judging their spirit. And if you judge their spirit, you are doing someone else's job. And by doing that job, you are essentially doing an act of blasphemy. You are committing an act of blasphemy by doing the Holy Spirit's job. You shouldn't be judging someone else. You shouldn't be judging someone else's spirit. It's not your place.
Intentionally evil, which he told you you can't be, because if you are, then you can't be in the kingdom that he's making, because you are out, just out. That's not going to be allowed in the kingdom.
Yeah, but you and Shanny have done intentionally evil shit over and over and over again. You think scamming most of your audience isn't an evil thing? Is that truly what you believe? You think that Shanny, anytime that she starts getting in any sort of trouble, whether it be with you or anyone else, and she starts this overwhelming, I'm really trying hard for that Oscar performance cry that she does, and she's quite literally manipulating anybody who sees and hears that, trying to emotionally manipulate them, that is not a bad act, that's not what you consider an evil act. Manipulation in and of itself is an evil thing to do. It's a bad thing to do. Both you and Shanny do it all the time. So who are you to point and say other people are evil?
These trolls that lie and slander people because they're Satanists, and they
Once again, the good old Christian Jason coming out. I'm going to judge everybody. These trolls, they're Satanists. No, trolls are literally just there to do one thing. And you and Shanny allow them to do that one thing all the time. You give them a reaction, and then they continue to do it. If you just ignored what they said and ignored what they did, you would be fine. But you all can't do that. Your grandiose self-image doesn't allow you, that vanity that you all have does not allow you all to not say something.
they jerk off to it literally and flick bean to it.
Once again, reverting back to the lustful nature. Got that 7 deadly sin coming out again.
Okay? They're sexual deviants that enjoy the pain and suffering of the vulnerable. Mainly emotional suffering. But if they can catch somebody like King Cobes, that might be have a problem.
That's another thing I really wish that they would stop bringing up. Ever since Josh Saunders, King Cobra, JFS died, they have done everything within their power to try to paint their past as if they were like best friends with him, when in actuality, he didn't really know. I don't think he knew who they were. And even if he did, he never talked about them. So unless there was some sort of like super secret DMs going on, I don't think he communicated with them. But they've used his name so much to try to garner additional support, and by proxy garnering more money by constantly bringing him up.
Problem with the old Boozerino, and they think that they can keep shoving shit in his mouth to the point where he dies. They'll do it for the energy. They're Satan.
And there's something else that they have also done, is perpetuate this lie that a bunch of trolls made him drink. Here's the thing. I liked watching King Cobra JFS. I thought, in a way, he was a very entertaining guy. Definitely a unique and expressive person, which I do appreciate. But the dude did have a drinking problem, and he chose to drink. So you can't say that people forced him to do it. He chose to drink. He even made his own alcohol when he didn't have any alcohol to drink. Those were all his choices. So quit trying to perpetuate that trolls killed him whenever trolls didn't kill him. His own actions is what ended his life.
Satanist. let's do a Cobes deal, you know. I'll take, he wouldn't wear ears for sure, so we'll do this. Okay, we'll do a Cobes, you know. He would wear this. All right.
Once again, I might skip ahead because whenever both him and Shanny start talking about King Cobra, it's honestly, I get what they're trying to do, but it starts coming off as disrespectful because you start claiming to know a guy that you had no interaction with, that you never spoke to before, that you only watched a couple of videos of. So, and the fact that you're using his death to help glorify yourselves.
Cobes would say shit like this. He'd be like, well, that motherfucker, man, you know, that fucking guy that kicked that fucking dog, you know, dog, he kicked him in the face and he killed him. Well, that motherfucker, you know, he's going to hell, man. And fucking A, if you stay tuned tomorrow, I'm going to have like a crazy food hack with a bunch of garlic butter. Because the stupid fucking trolls again sent me a bunch of free garlic butter. So now I got to use that again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this crazy Sandra Lee half-cooked, half-semi-homemade bullshit with this fucking like Pillsbury toaster strudels. And I'm going to cover the thing in 50... I'm going to cover the motherfucker in 50 cups of garlic butter from Domino's. I might have a heart attack live.
He was doing that even before the trolls were sending him shit, so I'm not entirely sure why that was trying to be a jab at his trolls. He was already doing those wild fucking food hacks. Even his dad himself said that he would do that shit. The guy basically has like an iron stomach, so...
So if you want to send alcohol, you get... Holy shit. So rest in peace, Cobes. One of the greats of being unique.
That I agree with.
You realize that guy was severely autistic and like he had very sensitive social cues and all of this, and he was a star, man. Like he was great on screen, you know. He was a very big personality, and I just like, wow, it's gone too soon. It's a motherfucking shame because, man, what if he lived, you know? And he got his big break before Ozzy passed away, and Ozzy brought him up on stage, his last show. Holy shit, what about that experience before he went to be with Jesus, you know?
Honestly, that would have been neat. I would have watched it.
Rev, you're not a Christian. Why? Because you just said a Satanist is going to go to heaven. Yeah? Why?
I mean, given your viewpoint, yeah.
Not. Do you know that Satanist believes that Lucifer is God for sure? No, you don't. The ones that are truly lost are the ones that buy the lie of like Blavatsky and Pike that Lucifer was the light bearer, because that's a big point of morals and dogma, which is why you don't take Pike's philosophy, because he's dark-sided, okay? He knew the light and the dark.
If I'm going to sit here and listen to him preach, I may as well just find the actual video and watch from beginning to end. There's one more thing that I want to see that he talks about.
Are you ready to understand that Mike Matei fucking hates all of you? Why? Because look, when Mike started his shit, no, I'm going to stand up for Mike right now, and you're going to think it's a joke, but I don't mean it as a joke. Because every once in a while, Mike actually shows his real heart. Okay. I can't remember which game he was playing, and I could probably remember it if I think a little. And because I hate this shit. People think it's...
Just as a warning, he never really gets to the point. Like, it begins, and it's like starts to weave there, and then it's just lost.
All a joke, and he's not hurt by stuff sometimes. He was hurt. I'm going to tell you that. Is this still his last video? It is. It is his last video, like currently still, isn't it? Shan, that's not funny though, okay? Okay, wait. No, 3 days ago he did some members only. Okay, Mike's not gone. You know he should be though, because you don't deserve him, all right?
He should be gone because you don't deserve him. He's speaking about this like it's a bad relationship that he's literally watching in real time.
Stand up for him because, like, oh, James, I love James. I got James is fucking amazing. Okay, maybe this is the night where I create beef. Holy shit, Cinnamon Toast Ken, I'm coming for you. You ready for that? You're next. But
Cinnamon Toast Ken has already blown you out of the water whenever they covered you one time with his wife and Buff Pro. So I don't know. I don't think that there's ever going to be a time where he's going to take any of that seriously.
I'm going to come for anybody that comes for Mike Matei. All right, he has gotten me through when Shanny was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
yeah.
I've been very open what happened at that time. You know, I had a
I bet you are.
It was a mental breakdown, but I think that Jesus was opening my mind to prophecy as well. Because that's where he showed me the nuking of New York and Tehran, both. But he also told me that New York is not guaranteed. The New York one could.
The nuking of New York and Tehran. But he also told you that New York's not guaranteed. So what is the point of showing you the supposed vision of New York then if it's not guaranteed? And I'm pretty sure it's going to somehow boil its way back to fucking Trump, but we'll see.
Be stopped. Do you know how you stop the nuking of New York? Now you impeach Trump. Now.
Fuck me. It's like I'm a prophet. I literally saw that coming.
Would you like there to be no nuclear fallout? Would you like there to be a tomorrow? If people are okay with no tomorrows. Oh, that's a beautiful noise.
Thank God for turning it off. That microphone.
I think listen, if you don't understand what I'm saying, that's the Cobes. I did a weird drink combo. This is Wegmans cold brew coffee, and I just threw in the rest of my fucking Monster Energy Drink Zero. That's my crazy fucking drink for the night, guys. Where's my fucking trolls? I should have done this like live. It would have been better live, but it's okay. Because my viewership is really, wow. I'm very thankful. I am real thankful that you want to hear me. That like is really cool to me. Because I see you guys piling up on X. Go follow me on X and shit. But I'm going to go back to this, all right? Because I am serious about this. This is not bullshit. On the Wizardom fucking stream, okay? He literally says to somebody, man, like, he thought they were fucking serious and like really wanted to know more about him. Right? So he says to him, well, you know, fuck, I'm thinking back to 2018, there's been no growth in terms of like what we talk about here. And he said, you know, maybe that's a good thing though, because if you come here, you know what you get. And then he went, oh, you know, did you do that joke, Mike, or am I just inserting this and giving you comedy? He said, oh, come, yeah, because that's all the channel's about is come. If you didn't say that, insert that in the show. I give that to you spiritually now, and you did do that joke. I know that would make you laugh.
Good, man, dude, fucking.
Hey, Mike, you would actually fucking like Hogwarts Legacy. Check that shit out.
Here's,
you know, you got a hot chick too.
About that particular point, here is what kind of drives me up a wall. Like, I understand Mike Matei and James Rolfe are like retro gamers. And they openly say that they love retro games. They like playing retro games. But does that completely entail that they don't play any other games at all? Because I don't think that's the case. I'm fairly sure that fucking Mike Matei's already played Hogwarts Legacy. And if he hasn't, from what I hear, he needs to.
You know, but I'm standing up for Mike Matei. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. This insensitive piece of shit basically said, wow, well, you know what, Mike? I think jizz is all your fucking channel's worth. Because they paid no mind to what he says to them after. Do you know what he said to this person after trying to explain to them? Well, you know, when I first started these live streams, I really wanted to contribute to the gaming community. Like, promote the idea of gaming. Promote the idea of what I love, which is retro games. And be in the retro gaming community, but the gaming community overall, I wanted to contribute to that positively. In other words, you have an audience that asks questions about the games. Oh, Mike, okay, you're playing fucking Castlevania. All right, awesome. Let's really get into the nitty gritty of Castlevania. Like the programmers, what did they intend the next generation of Castlevania to look like?
And then he continues on talking about that. And then for whatever reason, he gets into wrestling, and he starts talking about Kurt Hennig. And at first, I was going to respond to that, but at the same time, once more, much like with the other dude that he watches that sings in this part of the video, there's a guy that he watches who's singing that for whatever reason he believes is Michael Jackson still alive. I'm not going to watch those parts just because I don't want to get any sort of copyright strike on this stream if it were to happen. So we're gonna not do that. Instead, we're gonna just move on to the very last video. How long is this? 21 minutes? Okay. Oh, this is from 2 days ago. So this should be fun. It's another Jason being live. Let's see. This is going to be as raw gets because I have no preconceived notion of what is in this particular video. So let's respond to live, shall we? I love this intro so much. Thank you again, Graveyard Flowers. You're amazing.
What the fuck is the deal? Holy shit.
Oh dear.
So,
oh my god.
Certainly been a while since I tried to do some shit like this.
You look like a crackhead. What happened? Are you okay?
And it ain't gonna be long, I'll tell you that.
Oh wait, that's the way he always looks. Never mind.
You know, I figured to myself I had to do this shit. You know, I had to launch a different channel like it. Well, it was an existing channel. It's the Tinto channel, damn it. You know? But I had to launch something different.
The Tinto channel, yay. Dedicated to his religious brothel sex cult story.
Because I was a fucking moron. You know? I was dumb as shit. And I'm like, oh, I'll just connect my old AdSense with my new account. And I'm like, wow, you know, that was brilliant, dude.
Hey, at least you acknowledge that it was a dumb move.
Thank you, Revolver Bernie. I try to look the best I can, you know. But the deal is here that that's not my drag name. You know, it can't be. Healthy looking there. I don't know about that. Nah.
I absolutely hate what he does with the whole cat ears thing. Like, I know he has claimed that it's supposed to be like a sexy girl look, but it just makes the trashy look that he has look even more trashy.
I go for the junkie crackwear look anyway. Free the pussy, I know, right?
I mean, you already got that going with the whole junkie
no, I just have a penis,
look.
You know? What the fuck? Why do you look like you were crying? Because I have been so much, you have no idea. Chat will still be ignored, so. No, fuck you, Bench. Like, I'm literally talking to chat. That's what I'm doing. Narcissist, exactly. How could you not be looking like this, huh? I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
But I hope everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful night. You know? I have an 8-inch bratwurst. But if you want to call it a carrot, it's 8-inch carrot. So, also, you literally had other people's content uploaded on your channel. No, I didn't.
First of all, yes, you did. Second of all, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but whenever you were doing the OF thing with Shanny, everybody has already taken the proper precautions and measurements to see exactly what it is you're packing. And I promise you, as of today, it is not 8 inches. There is no way. That is another grandiose self-esteem thing you got going on there where you're pushing yourself to the moon and you shouldn't be. You don't go from 2 inches with a slight gut to 8 inches without. It doesn't work that way, bro. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. You don't go from baby carrot to bratwurst. It just doesn't happen that way.
I had reaction content. But if you mean that one Jewish guy video, yeah, that was like they wanted to spread that video on other ones. So you look amazing, drip, drip. Thank you. I'm glad you're dripping, you know.
That's fucking gross.
But here's the deal. I just thought I'd come on and say that this has to be the place for now because, well, what happened, you know. That's a dumb move. I know, right?
At least you acknowledge it. Kudos
Yeah, it
to
is
that.
8 inches, actually. It is. I gained 2 sunny days. You know why? Because I lost weight. You get that. People don't understand that if you have, like, I had about maybe 80 to 90 extra pounds on me in Colorado, so I was a 6, right? I was a 6. I lost the belly fat, so I'm an 8 now. It, like, extended.
You were never a 6. You may have roughly 6 now. I can imagine that, but no. You got a baby carrot, dude. There is no bratwurst. Sorry, it's just not. It is just not true.
Extended too. I'm not kidding. You know, I don't put my penis picture out there, so I can't prove it, but that's just what it is.
You did whenever you were doing OnlyFans with Shanny. What are you talking about?
I swear to you, I wouldn't lie. You know.
Well, you would definitely. You
got the image out there out of it, right there. The old porn shed. It's old. That's 2020 images. I don't look that way now. Not this again. Well, then leave, Blazing Banter. You just fucking made your own channel to be a hate channel anyway. Join the brigade of hate. You know, I don't care. Everybody does because they know they can make money on us. So make.
Hold on.
I don't look that way now. Not this again. Well, then leave, Blazing Banter. You just fucking made your own channel to be a hate channel anyway. Join the brigade of hate. You know.
You just made your own channel in order to hate anyway. What? How do you know? You're just talking in real time. You don't know when the fucking account was made. What the fuck you talking about?
Here, everybody does because they know they can make money on us. So make money on us.
Hey, you hear that? Everybody has the blessing from Rev to make money on them if you're a hate channel. So if you're a hate channel, Shanny and Rev, keep doing what you're doing. And if you're making money, keep making that money because you have their blessing.
No, it's not easy for me to lose weight. Holy shit. No, I don't eat much, and that's how it happens. Could you at least be 15 minutes before making us puke? How about I vomit on you? What if I...
Is this just an entire thing of him having a back and forth with, like, his chat roasting him and him trying to roast back?
Vomit on you. That would be rough, Bench, right? Hi, Rat. You know, it's stinking there. It don't...
Okay, I know he just said hi, Rat, and then he said it's stinking there. Is he reading a comment at that point?
On you. What if I vomit on you? That would be rough, Bench, right? Hi, Rat. You know, it's stinking there.
You know it's stinking.
It don't, though.
It don't. Oh. Why? Okay, so I guess he's just reading a comment on what someone said. And if they're talking about their house, it absolutely has to, because as I said back in part 1, and I'll reiterate here, they literally eat, sleep, and shit in the exact same room, because Shanny can't fit on a normal toilet, so she has a giant bucket that she pisses and shits in. And this poor fuck here has to dump that shit and piss bucket out every so often because it gets full. And if it gets too full, Shanny knocks the damn thing over. She acts like to kind of be ironic, because I do have to do that chore. I do have to clean out the litter box before I go to bed. But it's kind of like a cat with a full litter box. Whenever your cat's litter box gets full, they will go to other places to pee and poop because they can't dig around in their litter box to do it. Shanny is like that with her piss and shit bucket. Whenever it gets too full, she just kicks the fucker over and has Jason clean it up. So, yeah, it definitely has to stink in that house. Like, I can only imagine that it's got to be grotesque. There's a reason why their white walls are now beige or yellow, because that's how much fucking shit is going on in there.
Oh, you ain't making money. It's all for fun. Well, you will make money soon, Blazing Banter. You know, you'll
Good, let him make money. Who cares?
get monetized and shit. What are you drinking? I am drinking Dr. Pepper Zero.
Gotta say, Dr. Pepper Zero, pretty goated. I'm a diabetic, so I only drink nothing but diet sodas, so I understand. And and Dr. Pepper Zero is pretty good.
Will's fault, everything that happened, but I'm gonna let that go.
You haven't let that go though. You continue to fucking, both you and Shanny. You're the one who brings it up most of the time because you have like this perpetual grudge against her kids, and you have ever since you fucking kicked Zach in the head back when they got taken away to begin with. Actually, you know what? Probably even before that, because if I remember correctly, Shanny just showed up at your house with those kids. So you weren't even expecting the kids to be there. They were just kind of forced on you. So yeah, you have like an eternal grudge against them. It doesn't matter what they do or how they do things. Doesn't matter how much time has passed or how often you're going to say that you're going to let it go. You're never going to let it go.
I gotta let shit go because that's just the way it is. You gotta let shit go. Hey, as long as we get a few minutes before hand, I could handle it. LOL. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, vomiting is something everybody will probably have to do at one point in their life, right?
For sure.
I'm pretty sure. It's not about money. It's about sending a message. What's the message? That we're dog shit, right? And you just slander us all day. That's fun, right? Well, I know.
Don't need to slander whenever it comes to you being dog shit. The only thing that anybody has to do, much like what I'm doing, only thing that anybody really has to do to figure out that you're dog shit is just listen to what you say. That proves how dog shit you are. Listen to what you say, see what you do. That's all you got to do. There ain't no slandering or defamation or anything that goes into it. And even then, whenever it comes to that, there are certain words over the course of this internet age that has lost their meaning. For example, slander has really lost its meaning whenever it comes to what it actually means, because nobody uses it in the right context. No one uses the right definition of it. Everybody just says, you say something and whether or not it's true, that's slander. No. In order for something to be slander, it has to be a malicious lie. It has to be something that the person knows is untrue and is still spouting it as truth. That would be slander. It's the same thing with people throwing around the term fascist and people throwing around oh damn, what was the other one? Well, fascist is the second biggest one. If you don't like the way my political views are, you're a fascist. No, the proper definition is quite literally what you're already doing, and that's the ironic part. A fascist is someone who has a particular political belief, and they try to push that political belief on everyone. And if you refuse to adhere to that belief, that doesn't make you a fascist. That makes what they're doing fascism. Fascism is pushing a political belief, a political view on everyone. But whatever.
No, it's fun to you. You also jerk off to it, or the girls do this to downstairs.
And once again, we get into that whole 7 deadly sin of lust again.
To that stuff, making us seem like demons and shit, right? Sure. And honestly, I am completely unaffected by it now. Like, it doesn't, like, you can say whatever the fuck you want about me at this point. Like, look at me. Do you think a guy dressing up like this gives a fuck about what people think of him at this point? No. And it's because I've been beaten so badly in the public at this point that it's sort of like being numb. Like, it's a person that's been really, like, knocked around in their life, right? I'm at that point now because I've gone through basically, it's going on 8 years of false
I'll take one of those little
being
ones.
said about me on the internet, because as soon as I got with Shanny, that's when it started. So I understand where I'm at, and honestly, that it's just, what this breeds into you.
Okay.
You guys probably all wonder, why does Amberlynn Reed keep doing this? Why does Foodie keep doing this? Why does Shanny keep doing this? Why do all these girls keep doing it? Well, I'm in the same boat as the girls. So
You're not a girl though, so what the fuck?
tell you why we can't stop doing it. It's because it's
We can't stop. Okay, so he is including himself. Good to know.
part of our life. It's become part of who we are to be like a YouTuber. It's just the deal, you know?
Not really. It's just you all see how easy it can be, and that's what you work toward. But unfortunately, for most of the people that you just named, it's not that easy because you all make it 100% harder on yourselves with doing some downright dirty shit that you shouldn't be doing. And therefore, the easy street of being a content creator just isn't open to you because you constantly throw your own fucking obstacles in the way that you can't get over and can't get past.
So people get off on just asking constantly.
Seven Deadly Sin again. There's that list.
Why won't you leave? Like, it's just going to be good for your mental health and everything to leave and never come back.
And there is that envy.
Well, number one, the harassment doesn't stop because we leave. They have background check websites that they use every day, the ones that are really dedicated. I don't even like having a goatee anymore because I like being pretty, and the goatees suck in being pretty. Don't like it.
Then don't grow it and keep it shaved off if that's what you want to do.
They take out websites of memberships for background check websites, and then they illegally use those sites because it's in the terms of service of those sites that you're not supposed to use the information for slander or anything. They then use those sites to get your latest job that you might get. And then they attack the business. They call the business saying this person is that, and the other thing. And they get you fired continually from every job. So, and that's why you will constantly see in chat.
No, I just got through that one.
Get a real job. Get a real job. Because
yeah, this is the the most recent 21 minutes.
Yeah, the one where
Right now,
he's putting on his makeup and saying that he's a sexy hooker look, like a sexy slut look or something, a dirty hooker look or something.
Something like that. Right now, he's talking about the reason why him, Foodie Beauty, Amber Lynn, all them won't quit YouTube, and apparently it's because.
Is there a new one that came out? The one I saw, I don't remember what he was talking about, but he was putting on a Jeffree Star palette.
That was the one before that. That was the hour-long one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The one I showed you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the latest one. This was 2 days ago.
I think I listened to it, but it was in one ear at the other's background noise.
So far, the only thing that he said that's even really worth mentioning is he's talking about the reason why him, Shanny, Foodie Beauty, and Amber Lynn don't leave YouTube, and apparently it's because YouTube is ingrained into their personality at this point, which I can't.
I can understand the consensus with like a talk show host on a radio.
Yeah.
That's their character, that's their gimmick, that's their schmick. I guess I can see the.
I can see the comparison, but what I have countered with is the main reason why those people who consistently fuck up, because they consistently fuck up, and it's their own fuck ups that do it. Yeah. Why?
Oh, I just noticed one of his.
Yeah, I clean it like once a night, just to make sure he doesn't get all gunked up. But my consensus is that the reason why they stick around is because they see how easy it is for some people who have done this for a long time, and they're already, got thousands of dollars and all that stuff, that they're already successful. But the problem is that people, much like Rev and Shanny, they can't be successful because they sabotage themselves. Unfortunately, they are just reprehensible people that they can't do good enough to be actually good.
I mean, they're successful enough that people are just donating money to them.
And that's the only success that they get, and that little taste of success makes them want to keep coming back. You got it. You knew it. So this is
sorry for dropping it on your screen.
This is the reason why me and her talk about these people all the time, is because we know We already know.
I'm up at like but I'm up before daylight, so you're asleep. I see the graveyard flowers posted new videos. I just crochet and listen to them.
Yeah, like if she had her own computer, me and her would definitely be on this stream together, like actually commenting on this, because she has takes that even I have to sit back and go, huh, whenever whenever I hear them.
Oh, you mean like comparison?
Yeah, like the radio host thing. It's like that does kind of make sense, but inevitable.
Like a comedian, they're always cracking jokes because it's their thing.
Yeah, they always have to.
I guess just being hot garbage is their thing because it's getting the money.
Yeah, hot garbage is definitely their thing. They know how to be a good dumpster fire for sure.
One's already shitting in a bucket.
I talked about that just a moment ago.
One's already shitting in a bucket. One crying and vomiting while having to clean.
Yeah, I already had brought it up that Shanny is kind of like a cat with a litter box.
It's too full. I can't go potty.
It's too full, so she can't piss and shit in it. So what does she do? She just knocks the damn thing over, tells Jason to go clean it.
You mean like sugar?
Yeah, just like any other cat. Oh, the litter box is full. You ain't gonna clean it. I'm gonna go shit and piss somewhere else.
Faster.
So instead of that, Shanny is like, oh look, the bucket's full. I'm just gonna kick it over and then go and then lean over and go, hey Jason.
What I understood from the video that I watched from either Smokey or Chinchilla is that she went to go use it and it knocked over. So either her blubber or her ass or her thigh or something jiggled in the right process to knock it over.
Right. Well, I would.
My question is, if she was getting ready to mid-use it, I'm not a tiny girl. I'm kind of big. When I have to pee, I have to pee.
Right.
If she's mid-squat and it falls over, I can only imagine she fell in it.
Right.
And just continued.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because this is a gross fun fact for anybody who stumbles across this later. But yeah, it's fun. This is a gross fun fact for anybody who stumbles across this later. But Shanny purposely doesn't wear any bottoms just so she can actually just kind of free flow everywhere. So kind of gross to know that they're sleeping in the same bed that she's pissing in, but whatever.
A real job, and then you get a real job, and then they attack that job. See, because this is how they get off. They're not normal like us, like me. If I wanted to get off and I were alone, I would just bring up some, pictures of hot white girls with big butts, big butt chicks.
Hold on, I have to go back and comment on
Or
that.
background check websites, and then because I like being pretty, and the goatees suck in being pretty. Don't like it.
All right, that's where I left off.
They take out websites of memberships for background check websites, and then they illegally use those sites because it's in the terms of service of those sites that you're not supposed to use the information for slander or anything. They then use those sites to get your latest job that you might get. And then they attack the business. They call the business saying this person is that, and the other thing. And they get you fired continually from every job. So, and that's why.
Okay, well, I think that anybody who's rational and reasonable would agree with what I'm about to say, in that I do not condone anybody doing that. If someone has a job and they're working at that job and they're definitely not bothering you, there should be no reason as to why you should contact that person's work trying to figure out where exactly they are and then contacting their work and getting them fired and all that. I don't agree with that, obviously. I think anybody who is a reasonable, rational person would also agree. But I do get it that there are people who are a little bit too dedicated to the hate, I guess, and they like to fuck people over like that. I'm not going to condone it ever, and I condemn anybody who would do that. However, if all they're really going to do is make a video on you and they're going to laugh at your stupidity, I mean, you're allowed to do that. Until the website says you can't do that anymore, you're allowed to do it.
you will constantly see in chats for people that are like this, get a real job, because they're gaslighting you to get a real job, and then you get a real job, and then they attack that job. See? Because this is how they get off. They're not normal like us, like me. If I wanted to get off and I were alone, I would just bring up some, pictures of hot white girls with big butt chicks,
7 Deadly Sin again.
That's it for me. That's how I would get off. But no, the way that they get off is they destroy your life. You see? Their pornography is your tears and destroyed life. Most psychiatrists, psychologists would call that really antisocial behavior. And that's what all you guys are.
I would call it not only antisocial behavior, I would say that if you are going out of your way to ruin someone's life and that gives you some sort of sexual gratification, then you're also a sadist. And that having a sadistic personality is not a good thing, and you should definitely seek some sort of help.
You're so miserable with your own fucking existence that you want to watch people suffer as much as possible on live streams and otherwise,
Pot calling the kettle black because you all love to talk about how miserable other people are, and you gloat and goat and laugh about it, but whenever somebody does it to you, suddenly it's a bad thing.
The King Cobra thing, tragedy, right? His fans were all like, oh, this is horrible. You guys did it to him.
His fans didn't do it. Hold on. No, whoa. Hold on. Back the fuck up, bro. The fans didn't do anything to him other than fucking support him. Are you trying to equate his fans with the trolls, like saying that they're one and the same? Because that's not fucking true or reasonable.
After they're dead, oh, you go, oh, isn't it so tragic what happened to the man named, Joshua Faye Saunders? Isn't it horrible what happened to King Cobes, JFS? Isn't it horrible what happened to him? I really feel what happened was horrible. You guys got off on it. Why else would you continually keep sending him the worst, highest, crappiest alcohol that you could send the man? You knew he was depressed from Ozzy dying, and you continued to send him excessive amounts of alcohol to his door.
Oh, is that what we're going with now? Is that before he died, a bunch of trolls sent him a bunch of alcohol because Ozzy passed, and he just drank himself to death? Okay.
Oh, it's such a tragedy that he passed away. No, you caused it. Not me. I was just starting to get into Cobes. And if I became a fan where I was to the level of being in the room while he was live and go to him, hey, Cobes, what's up? I wouldn't be the guy paying to send him alcohol. You could guarantee not. I'd be saying, Cobes, you should probably cut that out of your life, bro.
To be fair, you wouldn't have the means to do that anyway. Both you and Shanny can't even afford food. So how would you be able to send him alcohol? How would you be able to send him anything for that matter?
Because I was drinking hardcore like you too, brother. And I got to the point where I had a goiter popping out of the side of my neck. And my heart rate was starting to skip. And like beats where it would be like da-da, 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 da-da. My heartbeat. I'm not kidding. Just before Shanny got to me. Because I was choking down the big handles, right, of Captain Morgan 100 proof. And if you think I'm going to read the comments at this point because I see the fucking people in here, there's zero chance that I'm reading the chat now.
I would honestly, at that point, if you have a bunch of people that are in there and they're already hating on you and you're already engaging, there is literally no reason to not engage at that point, just because it helps make content for your channel. That's the best way to look at it. If I had a big bunch of people in here right now talking about how my quality is shit and how I'm talking too low or whatever, I would quite literally just run with it, because it would it would help my channel more than anything, because that's engagement.
Because I know what's in here, so I don't give a fuck if you don't like me reading the chat, because in fact, I'm just going to look at my stats and not your cocksucking piece of shit comments. Because I know what you're in here for. It's just gaslighting and
there's that wrath, by the way. Another 7 Deadly Sin.
And get some more rage, right? You want the rage boner so that you could jerk off to the rage. Why? I'm not going to do the rage.
Hate to break it to you. You've already started.
I listen to Rage Against the Machine, though. I do that for sure. But I'm not going to be baited into being rageful.
You already do.
Comes. When you start raging as a Christian is when you start sinning because you're not loving your fellow man.
You're already there.
Rev, you're not loving the chat. No, I'm not. I'm not capable of that yet because I'm still triggered by, because once again, my entire life has been literally like, you know, a train on the tracks, and then the tracks I had are fucked. I didn't know it. And I went over them, and the train's on its side again. That's where I'm at. Right. Dire Straits situation.
I don't
So
see
my
how.
Venmo and the Cash App is in our description. So if you want to help there, you can, and that would be extremely good if you could. It's in the description.
Uh-huh.
So you know what? I think, why not be productive? Right? We're going to be productive. This is what we're going to do. Here we go. I love that Luma wipe transition. That, I think it's new on OBS. I give them kudos on that shit.
The Luma wipe is not new on OBS. It's been there. Just an FYI. It's been there.
Check this transition.
Before I started using StreamYard, literally today, I have been using OBS since before then, and they've always had the Luma wipe, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Literally Star Wars. Look at this shit. It's Star Wars transition. George Lucas shit. Are you serious? Thank you, OBS, for cool transitions. So what do we got? I'm going to Cenk Uygur situation, and you can see that Cenk is absolutely a fan of Revelation News, because that was my logo. He was like, oh, you have to worship Israel. And it's fucking Cenk here. You see this shit. And yes, I'm live, see? I'm not fake live. I'm really live. So, okay, we're going to go to TYT, because why not? I was watching Mike Matei today. Shout out to Mike Matei. You should check out AVGN 8-Bit and put it on your wish list on your Steam. Oh, they're live right now. Trump frees George Santos? What? Trump just freed George Santos? Oh, the queen is free, folks. I'm happy. Like, me and Shanny love George Santos. I was kind of like, Shanny, you remember that guy was like all fraudulent and shit? And she's like, yeah, but he's a queen. And now I understand. I'm with Shanny now. He's a queen. How could I hate a queen, right? Because I want to develop my drag character, and I want to be a queen. But I ain't gay, you know? All right, here we go.
Well, how are you going to commit to the whole drag queen character, then, if you're not gay? You got to have some sort of male-on-male promiscuity in order for that to work. So, can I skip all this fucking political shit? What else do you talk about?
It's lagging my cursor even. Maybe it's this. Hang on a second. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. We're not going to do that. We're going to do that and that. No, now that completely disappeared. Hang on. Give me a second.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is going to break that now, huh? Let's see. I don't know if it is. Sorry. Oh, boy. All right. Delete, remove, delete, remove. You guys might have been getting that audio twice, too, because I was doing that new feature where they, like, There we go. Got it. Okay. I was capturing audio on that beta capture audio for the thing that I didn't even want to do that because I use the desktop audio. I apologize. That might fix it. Let me see. I don't know. Let's see if it's better.
For many years, or for decades, actually. He's also pushing new.
Oh my God. Is this just what he talks about the whole time? It is what he talks about the whole time. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'm glad that we're done then. Good. We don't have to worry about that at all, because I am not going to listen to fucking Rev talk about politics. I would much rather shoot myself in the big toe than do that. So, what have we learned today? That Rev's kind of dumb. I think that's what we learned. Okay, well, show's over. Thank you all for stopping by, coming out, doing all that good stuff. I do appreciate anyone and everyone who comes in, stops by, drops a comment, does whatever and whatever with that. I do appreciate it so much. And this is basically the end. So thank you all again for being awesome. Anybody who comes by, I will add a link to the description if you want to support this channel. Of course, there's ways to do that. I'll add that to the description. And if you have anything else you would like me to go over at some point, please be sure to drop a comment on that. I'll definitely look into anything that you all have essentially as anything that you all have as a recommendation, and I'm more than willing and able to listen to what you all have to offer. And yeah, I think that is about it. So yeah, thank you all again, and I will hopefully see you all next time, whenever that happens to be. Until next time, everyone.
You ain't scared. Yeah. Things that go bump in the night. Me. Sam B. Shrunken head, broken legs, body parts on the concrete. Cut 'em up, butcher style gators in the swamp. Red light, leave 'em dead, running like a track meet. Scared of nobody, what your motherfuckers want. Believe me when I tell 'em I'm a boogeyman beast. Lead 'em slash from their head to their feet. Pin bricks to the chest of a bitch, well fed, cooking meat, cannibal trying to eat. I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me. Yeah, who do you voodoo, bitch? Drink blood like a vampire without warning. Who do you voodoo, bitch? Stand up. Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night. Whoa, who do you voodoo, bitch? Hide your kids, grab your wife, better get out of sight. Who do you voodoo, bitch? Let's go. Sam B the Papa Shango, I'm bearing some Eddie. Handful of fingertips, toss them up like confetti. Stable of corpse bitches, I'm a pimp of the dead. Come fuck with a zombie, I put a stake in your head. Look, you want ghouls, I got fucking platoon. Maybe everybody dies, I'm see your ass real soon. Crack bones to the marrow, hot sauce and they suck it. Now my juju ain't nothing to fuck with. I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me. Yeah, who do you voodoo, bitch? Drink blood like a vampire without warning. Who do you voodoo, bitch? Stand up. Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night. Whoa, who do you voodoo, bitch? Hide your kids, grab your wife, better get out of sight. Who do you voodoo, bitch? Let's go. Cut your head off, you leave your motherfuckers dead. I got a zombie army.